Welcome to the newest installment of the Untitled Film Nerd Project. My name is Philip, and joining me as always is Teacher.
Hello.
And today we're going to talk about The Dead Don't Die. Before we get into it, spoiler warning now. If you want to avoid spoilers, skip ahead to the time code you see on the screen. Alright, so let's get into it.
And what did you think?
I fucking loved it.
Awesome.
Absolutely loved it. This is directed by the legendary Jim Jarmusch. And part of me wants to say, if you told me that Jim Jarmusch had directed an extremely meta zombie comedy movie, I would have just thrown money at you and asked you where. Mm-hmm. On this channel, we last talked about Double J when we watched the fantastic Only Lovers Left Alive from a few Octobers back. And I want to say that was possibly our number one movie of that month. I know it was up
Possibly.
there. Then the cast. It was fucking stacked.
Yep.
And many of them are returning Jarmusch regulars. But we had, and here we go, we had Bill Murray, Adam Driver, Tilda Swinton, Chloe Sevigny, Steve Buscemi, Danny Glover, Caleb Landry Jones, RZA, Larry Fessenden, Tom Waits, Rosa Perez, Carol Kane, who it's awesome that she was reunited with Murray from Scrooged, Iggy Pop, Selena Gomez, even Sturgill Simpson, the guy who did the song, was in it. And I got to give a sexy shout out to sexy as fuck Austin Butler, who looks like if Skeet Ulrich and Bill Skarsgård had a baby.
Completely agree.
I was watching the opening credits and I was just like, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. As the names kept coming, and by the 10th one in a row I recognized, I was pretty excited. Mm-hmm. And then when it said directed by Jim Jarmusch, I was thinking, okay, I am totally on board for this. Because the only things I knew about this was that it had Adam Driver and Bill Murray, and that it was a zombie movie. And that was it. I didn't even know that Jim directed it. And I kind of wish I hadn't looked it up on IMDb, but that one's on me. Overall, what did you think?
Oh, I absolutely adored it.
Yay.
This was just absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
So much more that we'll go into when we go into details. But yeah, this was a pleasure to watch.
It really was. It really was.
And yeah, much love.
All right, so there were some things that I liked, many things that I liked, actually. Mm-hmm. I loved how meta it was. It was like watching zombie Deadpool. From the part where the song is playing and Bill Murray goes, "Why does it sound so familiar?" And Adam Driver says, "Because it's a theme song." I was like, what? Okay. And then in one scene, Bill Murray asks, "What, are we improvising here?" Because it sounded like the Adam Driver went off script. And then, speaking of, the entire conversation they had about the script towards the end, because Adam Driver's character kept saying, this is going to end badly, over and over. And then Bill Murray's like, how the fuck do you know that? And then you find out it's because Driver had gotten the full script from Jim Jarmusch, and Murray had only received the parts of this script where he was in them, like the scenes he was in. That was golden. Oh, I loved it. There was a bunch of small things that amused me. I liked that a town with a population of 738 had a giant juvenile detention center. Mm-hmm. It cracked me up. It was like as big as my high school.
Like the first shot of it, I was like, okay, we're going to see the high school. Nope, that's a juvenile detention center.
The town had less than 800 people. It was great. I love how everyone just automatically came to the conclusion that it was zombies. Adam's character, Caleb's character, pretty much everyone not Chloe Sevigny was like, yep. Also, people saying the same lines over and over. In the diner scene where they discover the first corpses, maybe it was a wild animal or several wild animals, was said 3 times in a row.
That I personally enjoyed because it was just a classic use of the rule of 3 from comedy.
As well as kill the head. It was such a specific way to say it, and more than one character said it that way. And I liked how that came across. Steve Buscemi's hat that said "Keep America White Again." That's when I picked up that the movie was a self-aware, I don't want to say parody, because it was smarter than a parody, but I still kind of picked up on what we were in for. Mm-hmm. Tilda Swinton. Oh my God, yes. Queen Slay. She's a fucking samurai undertaker.
Irish.
Scottish. Samurai Undertaker that ended up being an alien. Mm-hmm. That was so meta because the memes about her for years, and it made sense with the very by the book way she played her character, like saying people's full names, being very formal. And she had so many good moments and lines, and she was my favorite character in the entire film. like her putting makeup on the corpses. I was laughing so hard I had to pause the movie. It's like the clowniest clown makeup I've ever seen. I was laughing so hard I was crying. And then I unpaused it and they showed the faces again and I just died laughing again. Where she asked Chloe Savini, "Are you a couple? You and the physically attractive one?" I was like, nice. We should like start using that in real life. Her apparently having magical powers over the electronics. Mm-hmm. Then we knew, okay, something more is going on with her. But I wasn't expecting, oh, there's a UFO now. Mm-hmm. I liked a lot that the zombies were all wanting their vices in real life. Mm-hmm. So coffee for the couple, which included Iggy Pop, candy and popsicles and toys for the kids at the general store. Also props for making kid zombies. Mm-hmm. And a lot of them. You don't usually see that. Tools for the men, quote unquote men. Xanax, Oxy, and Ambien for the zombies outside the drugstore. Fucking Carol Kane saying Chardonnay. It was great. I fucking lost it when Adam Driver pulled up in his car. Because he's this huge dude in his tiny fucking car. And it had the Star Wars sound effect.
Yes.
As he pulled up. And later on, he had a Star Wars keychain. Mm-hmm. Very meta, very cool. I liked Zoe having the male and female interlocked symbol on her shirt. Mm-hmm. Again, it was a very meta way to denote her as the eye candy. And I love that the entirety of her and her friends was just that they were from Cleveland.
Yep.
And that's it. Like, they served no purpose in the movie, which was kind of the joke. And then 2 bits of trivia that I read. Tilda Swinton is actually the one that gave Jarmusch the idea for a zombie movie while filming Only Lovers Left Alive, which is cool. And the naked zombie is the same one from The Night of the Living Dead. Mm-hmm. That's badass. So those were just some things that I liked. What about you?
I'm going to repeat so much of what you just said, but yeah, just going through some of it, Tilda Swinton was definitely my favorite. I love the play on name for Rosie Perez. The interactions between everybody. This was almost like the killing of a sacred deer, where no one reacted properly to everything except for that movie. It was just for pure dread. Here it was for a completely different purpose, and it completely served that purpose. It was hilarious.
Right, yeah. Okay.
I loved the beginning scene where they're driving through town and we're seeing each landmark that is obviously going to be a focus throughout the movie.
Right.
This movie was also very reminiscent of a lot of 1950s B movies. I honestly think it's a slight remake of Plan 9 from Outer Space.
Oh, okay.
Because aliens come and resurrect the dead. Then even Tom Waits, his narrative, the end monologue was very reminiscent of, I want to say it was War of the Worlds.
Okay.
Where it ends with that, really overly dramatic monologue at the end.
Right.
Yeah, that just really worked. Another thing that I liked was Caleb Landry Jones. Uh-huh. How he played someone that was obviously extremely introverted. They never came out and said it, but you could tell from his reactions of interacting with people. Mm-hmm. And he did that to perfection.
Oh, yeah.
I also liked how Selena Gomez and her friends, when they showed up, they were kind of joking with him, but at no point were they actually being malicious or being absolute dicks to him.
Right, yeah, yeah.
I really appreciate that, because most time in horror movies, it's their moment to shine as the dicks of the film. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad that they didn't go for that.
Same.
But yeah, overall, so much more. But
oh yeah.
That is definitely some of the stuff that I loved about it.
Right on. All right, so things that could have been improved. This is me nitpicking, because I loved this movie, but I disagree with you about the last monologue. Mm-hmm. I don't think it was necessary. I think the final monologue by Hermit Bob, it felt like overkill. Mm-hmm. Like, we get the zombies were zombies before they were dead, and we're all going back to their zombie ways. Everyone is a slave to their vices, yada yada. Double J really nailed that point home, but I don't think repeating it again out loud was needed. Mm-hmm. It felt like he was beginning to beat his point into the ground. Mm-hmm. But that's it. Other than that, this is a fun hour and 45 minutes.
And, he kind of even sets himself up for that kind of criticism, because as Adam Driver says at the end of the script, it says this will end badly. So,
Yeah, true. Yeah,
if
yeah.
it
Good
ends
call.
on a note that you didn't like, then
You are. I didn't think of that. Yes. Okay. Yes. Then yeah, maybe it's not a bad thing then.
But even to go along with that, I was thinking during his monologue when he, is basically condemning society, and I'm like, no, no, I bet there's some Amish that are going to be attacked too. So
Yeah. Right.
this isn't just on the electronic happy people. Everyone's fucked.
Well, the teenagers lived.
Yes, which I also liked.
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing I didn't like I loved the idea of Tilda Swinton being the alien. It's just it kind of went nowhere. Like she insisted on watching the police department, and she got into the computer and waved her hand,
Mm-hmm.
and then nothing came of it.
I assume she was summoning the UFO.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, that's about it for me.
All right. So this is going to go without saying, but would you recommend it?
Totally. And I already have.
Nice. Nice.
And you?
Abso-fucking-lutely. Now, in fairness, this won't be for everyone. Only Lovers Left Alive, if I recall correctly, we both love that movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I know some people that didn't like it. And for The Dead Don't Die, I can see some people just not, quote unquote, getting it. But for me, it was great. And after doing a vampire movie and now a zombie movie, I would love to see Jarmusch do more horror, because I think his style really suits the genre and that he brings a uniqueness to it that is much appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
But if you like zombie movies, comedy horror, and meta comedy horror zombie movies, check this out. Seriously, any movie that makes me laugh till I cry is a winner. Is a winner.
Agreed. Totally agreed.
Anything else you'd like to add?
No, I think that about covers it.
Alrighty. Well, that wraps up this episode. Thank you for listening. If you like the video, please hit the like button, share it with your friends or cool people who might dig the Vizcast. Please subscribe to the channel, including hitting that notification bell to stay up to date on the newest content. And there is a link in the description below for the Patreon that covers all of the creative endeavors, so please consider showing your support. And until next time, my name is Philip.
And I'm TJ.
And we'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.
Bye.